We got to know our history. It's an important thing for us to know is how God has worked in our lives and how things have become what they are. We need to know our history very well and know how God has worked for us. Jephthah knows his history. He knows his Bible, apparently. If he is not reading it himself, he at least is aware of the history of the Israelites coming into the promised land. So this is a very good thing. So let's see how Jephthah is interacting with the Ammonites. If you remember from our previous day readings, it's the Philistines that have been the main problem. And then toward the end of our readings, we saw that the Ammonites are then coming and attack. And so Jephthah is just wondering, what do you all have against me? So he sends messengers to the king of the Ammonites and he asks them, what do you have against me that you've come to fight me against my land? We've done nothing against you. Why are you infringing on our property? And then so the king of the Ammonites said, well, it's because Israel, when they came out of Egypt, took away our land. They came and took it away from us. So we've come back to take it from us. It's not that you necessarily have particularly done anything against us in the last few years. It's the fact that you all, a long time ago, took away our land and we have come back to get it. And Jephthah says, excuse me, I don't think so. Israel did not take away the land of Moab or the land of the Ammonites when they came out of the Red Sea, when they came out of Egypt and passed through the Red Sea. He's saying we've actually sent messengers to Edom and to Moab and asking if we could pass through the land, but they wouldn't let us. And then Moses asked, and many of you will remember from our readings in the Pentateuch, in the first 5 books of the Bible, that Moses asked if they could pass through the land of the Amorites. So, verse 19, Jephthah is recounting what the Israelites did. He was familiar with his Bible. Israel then sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, king of Heshbon. And Israel said to him, please let us pass through your land to our country. We just want to pass through. But Sihon did not trust Israel to pass through his territory. So Sihon gathered all his people together and fought against Israel. So Jephthah saying, excuse me, this is not how it happened. In fact, we just wanted to pass through, and your king attacked us. And God gave us the strength, and we defeated them and took possession of the land of the Amorites. Not because we attacked you, but because you attacked us first. And then we see in verse 23, we're told that the Lord, the God of Israel, dispossessed the Amorites from before his people Israel, and are you to take possession of them. So this is a attitude for us to adopt and to really get in our heads, is that everything that we have ultimately comes from the Lord, and everything that we lose ultimately is taken away from us by the Lord. The Lord gives, as Job says, and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And so Jephthah is really putting in front of the Ammonites of saying, if the Lord had helped us, the God of Israel gave us this land, are you now going to take it from us when God himself gave it to you? And then he asks in 24, don't you take what your God gives you? Well, we'll take what the real God of the universe gives us, and you can take whatever your little fake gods give you. And he's putting that in front of them. Of course, they would have thought that their God is a real God, but Israel or Jephthah is saying, if God has given us this land, it is ours. And then he reminds them of Balak. Again, we should be struck by how much history Jephthah knows. He seems to have read his Bible more than any of the other judges. Perhaps Othniel would be the only exception because he was living and experienced much of the conquest of under Joshua. And so Jephthah says, are you better than Balak? When he hired Balaam to come and curse us, he never fought against us. Are you better than him? Did he ever contend against Israel, or did he ever go with to war with them? This is a great king, and are you better than him? While Israel lived in Heshbon and its villages, in all the cities that are on the banks of the Arnon, 300 years, why did you not deliver them within that time? So we've been here for a long time. And now all of a sudden you're doing it. And Jephthah says, in reality, I have not sinned against you. You are actually doing me wrong. This has been going on for 300 years, and now you're taking on. You're the one that's doing the wrong thing. And then you see a great example. I don't have it marked, but this is a good example to follow. The Lord, the judge, decide this day between the people of Israel and the people of Ammon. He is trusting God to make the decision. He's trusting God to take or give. And we see that the king of the Ammonites did not listen to the words of Jephthah that he sent to him. And this will be a reason for them to go to war. They will attack, and Jephthah will be victorious. And we'll read about that in our next video.